Hey everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this updated video. And so in this video, we'll be looking at these two tropical waves which are marked disturbances. And so we really want to focus on that one closer to the Caribbean, though it is expected to make its way into the region and could even bring some impact. So could we be looking at possible tropical storm Fiona out of the system? So we'll be taking a look at what is expected by the various models as well as areas that could be impacted. And before I go into details, okay, so just before I talk about this tropical wave, I want to address something, guys. So I've been seeing a lot of comments talking about, oh, the hurricane season is finished and forecasters were wrong and whatnot. So I just want to say that we are just in the second half of the hurricane season, and people are underestimating the season because of the activity thus far, and that is completely understandable because, of course, we are in a La Nina and forecasters were calling for an above average hurricane season. And of course, not every time what is being forecasted is going to happen. That's why it's called a forecast. It's the likelihood of what is going to be happening in the future. It doesn't mean that it is guaranteed to happen. Yes, we haven't been seeing a lot of activity, but that doesn't mean the hurricane season ends. The official end date for the hurricane season is the 30th of November, and we're here in September, so we still have a long way to go, and it is definitely likely that we're going to be seeing more and more activity as we progress into the latter parts of this hurricane season. So I don't want persons being out there thinking that, oh, this is it, they're not going to be paying attention to what's going on just because the hurricane season hasn't been what was expected, because it only takes one tropical cyclone to really be the talk of the hurricane season. And an example of that is with Hurricane Maria back in 2017. This hurricane caused almost $100 billion in damages, and it killed over 3,000 people. And as a matter of fact, Puerto Rico was out of power for a very long time. So I'm just saying that sometimes it only takes one tropical cyclone to cause some massive destruction. And for two, we're not finished with the hurricane season as yet. We're still very in the season. That's why I'm making these update videos. And as I speak, let's go ahead and now get into these disturbances. So first up, we're taking a look at satellite view of the Atlantic Basin. And we're seeing that there is some shower and thunderstorm activity taking place in sections of the Caribbean. And out in the main development region, there we have that tropical wave trying to get itself together. And we also have another that is moving off Africa in the vicinity of the Cabo Verde Islands. And so let's take a closer look at these systems. So here we have this first disturbance, and this one is not the very best in terms of organization. Of course, it's just given a 30% chance, but it is likely that we will see some gradual development of this, and we could even see a tropical cyclone become of this tropical wave. And so it is likely to make its way into the Caribbean and bring some impacts to portions of the area. And so looking at this second tropical wave now, we're seeing that we have quite a bit of convection associated with this, all the shower and thunderstorm activity that is affecting portions of the Cabo Verde Islands right now. And that one is likely going to be moving out to sea. So looking at the 5-day outlook for it, we're seeing that there is a 20% chance that we could possibly see some development of this system during the next 5 days. So aside from the Cabo Verde Islands, it's not likely that this is going to be a threat to land in the near future, but we'll see what it will eventually do out there. And then as for this second disturbance now, this is the one we want to focus on. We're seeing here that it is given a 30% chance to possibly develop into a tropical cyclone. Slightly higher chance than when I posted my update video yesterday. So only time will tell what this is going to do, but I think that it is getting pretty likely that we're going to be seeing this one here maybe getting itself together, and even if it doesn't, it could still be a problem for sections of the Caribbean region. Alright, and as I speak, let's go ahead and take a look at what the models are showing in terms of the potential track of these systems. So we're going to be looking at various maps here, starting off with GFS, and this is a humidity map. The teals indicate more moisture, meanwhile the browns indicate that we have more we have drier conditions. And so going to the end of this week on Friday, September 16th, GFS is expecting that we're going to be having all that moisture making its way into the Caribbean associated with that tropical wave. So we're not seeing any closed isobars here, and that would usually indicate that we're seeing some sort of organization or development, but we're not seeing that. We're just having all this moisture in the area. And then as for Euro now, by Friday, Euro is expecting that we're going to be having this 1009 millibar low pressure area, but know that we're not seeing those dark teals, and the reason for that is likely the dry air that is around. So yes, the Saharan dust is still very much a problem out there. It has been the main inhibiting factor of activity throughout the hurricane season. But going to Sunday, the 18th of September, we're seeing here where Euro is expecting that we're going to be having the system making its way over portions of Puerto Rico. We see that moisture extended into the Lesser Antilles as well. And then as we head to Tuesday of next week, on the 20th of the month, we're seeing here that Euro is expecting that we will have the system start to intensify once it is just north of Hispaniola. So that's what the Euro model is expecting for this system. And then eventually by Friday of next week, the model is expecting that we're going to be having this thing here, potentially even becoming a hurricane. We see a pressure of 985 millibars here. So this is something to definitely watch as we progress into the next several days, because it is likely going to be a threat to land. And then ICON has been very consistent about a tropical cyclone developing as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. So go into Friday, the 16th of September with ICON, we see a 1007 millibar low pressure system here. So we have this all this moisture that is making its way into portions of the Lesser Antilles, and then we see some intensification with it as it enters the northeastern Caribbean. We see a pressure of 997 millibars, and so the lower we have the pressure, the stronger the system is. And so guys, that is what the three models are expecting in terms of that tropical wave that is out there. And what we're seeing now doesn't have to be the outcome, as I spoke earlier about the hurricane season. So that is what is expected. And again, the system has quite a bit of dry air ahead of it, so it will really struggle during the next several days. But let's see if it is going to be entering the northeastern Caribbean or moving just north of the Caribbean. But regardless, if it isn't an organized system that we're talking about here, it is likely that there will be some impacts across sections of the eastern Caribbean, because even a tropical wave is enough to cause some significant impacts in terms of especially the flooding. So with enough shower and thunderstorm activity being associated with it, and a not so quick movement, a kind of moderate to slow movement, then it is likely that we could see this system really be a problem for sections of the Caribbean. So if you're in the Caribbean, it's best to keep an eye on this over the next several days. It is likely that we're going to be seeing maybe a tropical cyclone making its way into the region or just north of the region. And so guys, that is really it for this update video, and of course I'm going to be keeping you updated as time goes by. So if you found this video to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can share your thoughts in the comments or as a question. I'll try to respond as best and as soon as I can. And of course, remember to always be weatherwise.